the fire is in you. It must not die. Keep the fire alive. Fuel it at any cost. And even similar motto was given to me by the renowned Hindi writer, Mr. Upendra Nath Ashk. And you can imagine doing all those odd services. I had somewhere in my subconscious that I have to pursue my higher education. It was in the year 1974 when I joined my first job as a Hindi teacher in a residential school of a hill station, very close to nature, nestled with the rich flora and fauna of Himachal, and that evoked that explorer which was within me. We used to go on weekends and on holidays with the students to explore new routes, to start with knowing the mountains, what they have, listen to those springs, the streams, the hilltops, trying new routes, and what a world in front. The world was totally different. The life was totally different. And I could understand something definitely is there, which is transforming me, transforming my students. And that's how my first love affair with the mountains started. But it really deepened during my stint at the Scindia School, when in 1981, Colonel Balwant Singh Sandhu, principal of Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, Uttarkashi, and a renowned international mountaineer visited us. His talk and the mountain slides, they had given a different kind of inspiring invitation to know yourself through the mountains. And I still remember one of the students questioned him. The mountains are beautiful, no doubt, but they are very risky, difficult to negotiate, hardly any facilities available. Why do people go there? He answered, sometimes what looks difficult from a distance may not be all that difficult too. Whatsoever is looking impossible from a distance, it's not all that. Go closer to that. And remember, half the battle will be won within your mind. If you decide to take on these mountains, decide to take on the challenges which are front, I can assure you, you are going to take the fear out and you are going to know the Mother Nature very clearly. I shifted myself to the Doon School in 1983. Doon School has a rich tradition of mountaineering. If I say in India, whatsoever mountaineering is available today is because of the Doon School, masters as well as the boys. The stalwarts like Mr. Gibson, Mr. Holsworth, Mr. Martin, Mr. Gurdial Singh, Mr. Nandu Jayal, Mr. Suman Dubey, they really initiated the idea of bringing this adventure activity into the students. And you will be pleased to note, this adventure curriculum is introduced into the Doon School calendar. Twice a year, students are moving to the mountains. Till class 9th, they go with their escorts. But 9th, 11th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, they move on their own. They plan and come up with a different kind of experience. because adventure is definitely a different kind of area which is developing someone. In my 16 years as a leader of the expeditions, I'd seen mountains very closely. From a distance, it's looking like a tall figure, might be a green figure sometime, might be a white figure. But if you see it, what exactly is there? What kind of hardships we go through if you are going there? Inclement weather you find. There are avalanches, the landslides, excessive rains, snowfalls. I mean, that kind of situation you witness and you pass through. And if you decide to take on this challenge, if you have taken out your fear out, if you have understood what are the comforts you have followed in your life and what you need to leave, I think mountains are best to assess you. And whenever you decide on take on those challenges, you are coming out of your comfort zone. And sometimes you can say, we are accepting those challenges, and sometimes those mountains are making you a different kind of an artist, a writer, might be an educationist. And those achievements, sometimes if you think, I would say that's the uncomfortable comforts of the mountains. I remember one of my, the first expedition, it was over-ambitious track, which I had with the Sindhian students. In 81, we had been to Hemkund, which is little over 15,000 feet high. And imagine 25th of October 1981, we were at Govind Ghat, the place where you start your trek. Gurdwara authorities clearly told, no, don't move, because everything is shut around 6th of October. And if you are moving on that altitude, you're not going to have anything, no shelter to, no food to eat, and possibly a big question on the identity of the expedition. But sometime when we are young, I was also 32 years old that time, and class 11th and 12th students, if they are with you, youth has a different style. They don't accept. They said, sir, lot we have done in the plains, even 44, 50 kilometers in a day we have done. We can easily manage it. I also was ready for it. We reached Hemkund, definitely, but that was 5:40 in the evening. Ghangriya is 5 kilometers below. And darkness was much faster than us. We were caught badly at Ghangriya itself. Now imagine 16 of us. No woolens, no sleeping bag, darkness, still 16 kilometers to go. We simply crawled and could see there were 2 tents. We reached there. There were laborers. We requested them. They were very kind. They had given us a tent to live in, food even, 8 chapatis I still remember, 18 of us. We spent the whole night in a tent, 18 of us in a tent, that much food which we had, no sleeping bags, no woolens, and whole night it snowed. And remember, in this kind of situation in life also sometime we have to face. Whenever we have taken a decision collectively, we have to stand by each other and we have to be ready for a fight out. And whole night we were talking, singing and laughing at the foolishness which we had, because we have been given a situation, it's not possible but it's possible. It's becoming possible sometime. Early morning, we just crawled and outside what a world to watch. Everlasting experience we had. The whole area was completely white, blanket of snow all around. We learned a lesson. Must listen the suggestions, important. Must understand the difference between the hills and the plains. Must remain together even if we have taken a wrong decision. Another incident I still remember. 1993, we had one of the biggest rafting expedition, which started from in between Manali and Leh. There is a place, Sarchu, which is 14,000 feet high. And we were told by the experts, it is a joyous ride. Enjoy the rafting there. We were also in an easy mood. And first 3-4 hours were really literally a wonderful joy. But all of a sudden, life is not all that. And even the river is not all that. River is also full of currents, rapids, gorges. Life is also full of all that. But you are there. And when you are there, you have to fight it out. Even I still remember at one point, the width of the river was less than the width of the raft. So that was I think the beautiful example of a teamwork, resilience, or knowing people even in that area. During that expedition, because there was no road sport available, we reached a place, Satak. Camped on the right side of the river. Within 5 minutes, we could see people are coming down straightway, running from the top, coming down and just touching us, touching those rafts as if we people are the aliens, and coming with that different kind of vehicles. I mean, that kind of world sometimes you face when you are passing through these mountains. They of course understood us. We also understood us. They were unable to understand our language, but through gestures we could understand what is going on. That's the world sometimes when you are moving out of your comfort zone. You interact with people, you know them somewhere, they are ready to help you even. Even another part of the similar kind of expedition we had, we bypassed Kargil, Lamayuru, and even reached Leh. That was way back in 1985. We were put up in one of the officers' mess. It just drizzled. And in one of the corner is leaking. We just questioned. So this Leh or Ladakh is called as the cold desert. It doesn't rain at all. And drizzling even is never possible. It only snows. And when we talked to the locals, they were a little happy because sometime later that is going to change their lifestyle. There were no trees that time, still I remember. And the army stationed there, they had started planting trees on the corners of streams, of rivers, and it's traveling like anything. The weather is changing, and the prosperity is changing. And see those people, Ladakh people, acute winter, and most of their festivals they celebrate there. You can get to know what are their customs, the festivals, and even they use, though it's difficult to come out, but they still come out, they celebrate it, and even on Indus they play the ice hockey. I mean, this is only possible if you are coming out of your zone and trying to know the people. Another expedition which I remember, and it was in 1989. I happened to be on that Kalanaga expedition. We were about to reach ruined Saratal. That was the camp, which was little over 12,500. And just little before the camp, there was a stream which you need to cross. We couldn't have crossed. We could find a huge log close by and decided, let's stop this log on the river. Somebody messed up, and the log came onto my foot, badly swollen, paining like anything. Somehow I reached the camp, and my Surinder, the cook, he went around, traced out some of the herbs, some of the leaves, boiled it, and then made a ointment-like paste, applied on my foot. Can you imagine it? The next day there was hardly any pain or swelling. I was quite normal. I mean, the beauty of Himalaya is lot many herbs available, medicinal herbs. And if you are there to go ahead on the mountains, want to know about them, I think there's enough to know the mountains. In my 15, 16 years of regular climbing, I'd seen the mountains from a very close quarter. Early morning and evening, I used to sit outside my camp, watch the surroundings, serene, quiet, pure. Though challenging, the crevasses around, the ice walls around, but the different shades of the mountains you can see. Changing colors are wonderful to watch. And I found in my tenure of 16, 17 years as a regular climber, whatsoever I am today, whatsoever challenges I am ready to take in life, a decent explorer or an adventurer or a writer or an educationist somewhere, I found the Himalayas have literally done a wonderful work. Finally, what Himalaya looks like. Himalaya, जब भी सोचता हूं तुम्हारे बारे में, तो मेरे सामने आ जाती हैं अमृत तुल्य नदियां, शस्य श्यामल पुष्पित घाटियां, चुनौतियां हिम दीवारों, हिम दरारों और हिम दीवारों की, तपस्थली मुनियों की, रंगभूमि देवों की, भव्यता हिम शिखरों की, क्या नहीं है तुम में, वाह ऐ मेरे आराध्य, अद्भुत संसार है तुम्हारा. Thank you very much.